likely by the end of this week. Students will be able to add and subtract decimals. Not a miss or silent yes if you worked on decimals in the 5th grade. Yeah, it's a 5th grade standard. If you didn't quite get there, that's why we're refreshing it. But I have a pretty easy way for you to remember how to add and subtract. With a decimal, you want to always make sure to line up the decimals. Your 5th grade teacher probably made a huge deal about this. Board to paper, please, row 3. You want to line up the decimals. Mary, you got this? Okay. And how we do that is we're going to build a snowman with your decimals. Here's what that looks like. If you have 7.65 minus 4.9, I'm going to start out with a snowman. There's one dot, there's another dot, there's another dot. Kind of like your snowman that you make with dots, or you line up the little like charcoal buttons or whatever you do for buttons. Yeah. So this is building a snowman, and the reason why this is important is when you subtract or add, you need to line up the decimals, not the numbers, to get an exact answer. So 7.65 goes on the top like that. 4.9 is going to go underneath it, but you'll notice there's this blank space right here. If that blank space is there, I'll take a hand, not a voice. That's your first for talking. Thanks for the enthusiasm, Daniel and Chad. But make sure you raise your hand. Jackson, what do I put here? Yeah. So if there's any blank spaces, just add a 0 in, and that's going to help you to subtract or add. Subtract it. 5 minus 0 is, whole class. 6 minus 9 can't work, so I'm going to borrow from the 7. 7 is crossed out, and you make it a 6. You bring the 1 over, because that's really like moving a whole 10 over. So 1 and 6 makes a 16. 16 minus 9 is 7, and 6 minus 4 is 2. 2.75 is your answer. If you are doing this and you're making your snowman, it's okay to just silently in your head hum do 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 do. Okay, I'm done. So we are building snowmen. So if you want to build a snowman, you can with partner work, I'll allow like a quiet humming. Independent, you can go to silent humming in your head, like I always do. Example 2. This guy looks a little weird. 3.6 is negative plus 0.43. Go back to good guys versus bad guys from week 1. What type of problem is this? Add or subtract? What do you think, Daniel? This is a subtraction problem because there's a fight going on. There's a set of bad guys. Mason, face forward. Thanks for helping out, but you can raise your hand if you want to chime in. There's a set of bad guys. There's a set of good guys, and they're fighting. Whenever there's a fight, you're always subtracting. And so I need to think, well, which guy wins? Is it the bad guy group or the good guy group? Which one is bigger, 3.6 or 0.43? Which one would be bigger, Logan? The good guy is 0.43. 0.4 is actually a decimal, and I'm looking at a whole 3. Whenever you have a whole number, the whole number is bigger. So I'm going to take the whole number and place this on top. The whole number is bigger, so the whole number wins. It goes on top. 3.6. Then I'm going to build the snowman. Do 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 do. Yes. Real quick. Okay, so I had the 3.6. That was a negative, but I'm just going to take it away. The 0.43 is really what I'm subtracting away from it, since they're fighting. Go. I have an empty space. Justice, what goes in next to the 6? Okay. And since they're fighting, what operation is this, Daniel? Good. So we're fighting, and I see that the bad guys are actually bigger. So the answer in the end has to be what? Silent hands. Jameson.
Negative.
It has to be a bad guy. Because the bad guys are bigger, it has to be a bad guy. So let's go to the snowman and sort it out. 0 minus 3 can't work. Daniel, what do I do? 10 minus 3 is 7. 5 minus 4 is 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. Your answer is negative 3.17. Board of paper, a thumb up if that is on your paper exactly as I have it. Next page or next example. This time I have a negative 8.13 minus a 9. Thinking good guys versus bad guys, what is happening here? Am I fighting or am I banding together? What do you think, Sierra? We're banding because they're both negative. If I band, Hadley, what am I actually doing with the two numbers? Great, let's build a snowman. There's a problem. When I get to the 9, there's actually not a decimal. But here's the trick. With whole numbers, you can always add a decimal and then place your filler zeros. 9.0 is the same as 9. 9.00 is the same as 9. You can legally do that. It's the same number. It just helps you add. They're going to band together and become a bad guy or a good guy. What do you think, Mason? They're a bad guy because they're two bad guys banding. Let's add them up. Logan, help me add the first.
I'll do that, but after I do that, may I please start?
You may after this.
So it would be 3 and then 1 and then 17. So it would be negative 17.
Negative 17.13. Negative 17.13. If you wanted to say it out loud, your 5th grade teachers, it sounds like, how do you say, like 1300ths? So this is negative 17 and 1300ths. I don't really care if you say negative 17 and 1300ths or negative 17.13. I'm fine with you just saying the decimal as 0.13. I don't need you adding in tenths or hundredths for this lesson. Question? Yeah. Oh, okay. Next page, please. The trickiest part of these problems and the things that make 7th graders most blunderful are the weird little signs. If you see bronze, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 do not have those weird signs. They're all just addition or subtraction. When you get to silver, the silver is going to have the weird signs where you're banding, like examples 2 and 3, or you're fighting, like examples 2 and 3. I want you to start out first with bronze. The next 4 minutes, you're going to be on independent or on partner work for 4 minutes. Then after that, I'll allow you to move around. If you feel confident, go to silver. You can try good guys versus bad guys, or just continue on. Get ready, partner work, 4 minutes. Pencil up. Thanks, Sally, for being ready. Where am I starting for partner work, Mason? Bronze number 1, go. Excuse you.